On the supposed death of Partridge, the Almanac Maker 11708 by Jonathan Swift. Well teased as Bickerstaff has guessed, though we all took it for a jest, Partridge is dead, nay more he did ere he could prove the good squire lie Roman 500 strange, an astrologer should die without one wonder in the sky, not one of all his crony stars to pay their duty at his hearse. No meteor, no eclipse appeared, no comet with a flaming beard. The sun hath rose and gone to bed, just as if Partridge were not dead, nor hid himself behind the moon to make a dreadful night at noon. He at fit periods walks through Aries, howe'er our earthly motion varies, and twice ere hell cut th equator, as if there had been no such matter. Some wits have wondered what analogy there is twixt cobbling two, and astrology, how Partridge made his optics rise from a shoesel to reach the skies. A list the cobbler's temples ties to keep the hair out of his eyes, from whence tease plain the diadem that princes wear derives from them, and therefore crowns are nowadays adorned with golden stars, and rays which plainly shows the near alliance twixt cobbling and the planet's science. Besides that slow-paced sign boots as tease miscalled, we know not who tease, but Partridge ended all disputes, he knew his trade, and called it boots 3 the horned moon 4, which heretofore upon their shoes the Romans wore, whose wideness kept their toes from corns, and whence we claim our shoeing horns shows how the art of cobbling bears a near resemblance to the spheres. A scrap of parchment hung by geometry, a great refiner in barometry, can like the stars foretell the weather, and what is parchment else but leather? Which an astrologer might use either for almanacks or shoes. Thus Partridge by his wit and parts at once did practice both these arts, and as the boding owl, or rather the bat, because her wings are leather steals from her private cell by night, and flies about the candlelight, so learned Partridge could as well creep in the dark from leathern cell, and in his fancy fly as far to peep upon a twinkling star. Besides, he could confound the spheres, and set the planets by the ears, to show his skill he Mars could join to Venus in aspect malign, then call in Mercury for aid, and cure the wounds that Venus made. Great scholars have in Lucian read, when Philip king of Greece was dead, his soul and spirit did divide, and each part took a different side, one rose a star, the other fell beneath, and mended shoes in hell 5, thus Partridge still shines in each art the cobbling and stargazing part, and is installed as good a star as any of the Caesars are. Triumphant star some pity show on cobblers militant, below whom roguish boys in stormy nights torment, by pissing out their lights, or through a chink, convey their smoke enclosed artificers to choke. Thou high exalted in thy sphere, mayst follow still thy calling there. To thee the bull will lend his hide by Phoebus newly tanned, and dried for thee they Argus hulk will tax, and scrape her pitchy sides for wax. Then Ariadne kindly lends her braided hair to make the ends, the points of Sagittarius dart, turns to an all by heavenly art, and Vulcan, wheedled by his wife, will forge for thee a paring knife. For want of room, by Virgo's side shall strain a point, and sit 6 astride to take thee kindly in between, and then the signs will be 13. Footnote 1, for details of the humorous persecution of this impostor, by Swift see Prose Works, Vol. I pp. 298, et seq. W.E.B. Footnote 2, Partridge was a cobbler Swift. Footnote 3, see his Almanac Swift. Footnote 4, allusion to the crescent-shaped ornament of gold or silver, which distinguished the wearer as a senator. Appositam nigri lunam subtixit, alludi juvenal sat Roman 7 192, and Martial I 49, lunata nusquam pellis, W.E.B. Footnote 5, Luciani opera, Xi 17. Footnote 6, Ips tibi eam bratia, contrahit ardens Scorpios et Celi eosta, plus part reliquit. Verg Jorg, I 34.